Day 1 and 2, we want to track our income and we want to track our expenses. The goal here is to be able to know what your cash flow has looked like. One of the things about financial goals is that you can't just wake up today and say, I want to save more. We want to set very, very smart goals. Last year yote nimekuwa nikikwambia money market fund, money market fund. Wewe unaogopa tu kuweka pesa kwa money market fund. Hi everyone, happy new year. I hope you've started your 2025 well. I'm so happy to be here and I'm so happy to welcome you to our first episode of Finance Friday of the year 2025. I've really missed you guys. I had taken a bit of a break, maybe 2 months, sometime last year. For those of you who do not know, my partner and I, we were blessed with a baby boy and our family has expanded. As you guys can imagine, the postpartum period is it's a big adjustment. So I took some time just to rest and reset and to just get adjusted and accustomed to the new life with new life with a newborn. It's been amazing. It's been challenging. It's also challenged us in many ways that we never anticipated. There's growth happening. There's sleep deprivation happening. There's reprioritization of goals and tasks happening. But overall, it's been so beautiful. I mean, I really thank God for that blessing. That was one of my highlights of last year. And we really thank God for that. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comment section, how did you end your 2024? Are you motivated? Are you inspired? Are you tired like me? And what are your plans for 2025? So other than sharing with you guys that live update, today I thought that you and I can just chill out and hang out. As you can see, I have my laptop here with me and I'm gonna start a class with a simple course for you that I want to share with all of you, or a crash course. And today I want us to talk about a step-by-step guide on how you can master personal finance in the next 30 days. And I really wish to do this maybe before the first day of 2025 started, because I'd really loved for us to master personal finance in the first 30 days of January. But do not worry, I know it's not 1st of January, but today I want to give you a step-by-step guide on how in the next 30 days, it doesn't matter when you watch this video, but from today for the next 30 days, I want to give you a daily guide on what you can do to actually ensure that you master personal finance at the beginning of this year. If that sounds like something you are excited to learn about, please get you a notebook, a cup of your favorite drink, and let's get straight into it. So the amazing thing about a new year, a new month, a Monday, is that it's a brand new clean slate for you to get started. And I love doing this every new year, taking some time to reflect and taking some time to think about what my plan for the year is, because it just helps set a good foundation and a good base for how your finances are, or rather the trajectory that your finances are going to take. So today, this is just an interactive coaching session. As I told you guys, please have your notebooks, and I want to just take you from day 1 to day 30. If your day 1 is today, regardless of the day that you watch this video, if your day 1 is today, I want to take you through what you can do so that you can actually master personal finance for the year 2025. And my hope and prayer is that 2025 will actually be one of your most financially successful years yet. All right. So let's talk about day 1 and 2. Day 1 and 2, we want to track our income and we want to track our expenses. The goal here is to be able to know what your cash flow has looked like. Now, the year has just started. We don't have a lot of data for January, but we do have a lot of data for December, November, ideally the entire 2025. So tracking is so important. One of the ways you can track, even if not in totality, for Kenyans here, we use M-Pesa a lot. Your M-Pesa statement will tell a story. Okay, check how much money you made and how much money went out. Check your bank statements. They will tell a story. They will tell you how much came in and how much went out. If you're not, that's assuming you were not intentionally tracking either on an Excel sheet or even on a mobile tracking app. Now, why this is important is because you're able to have a very honest conversation with yourself and to investigate where exactly did this money go. If your statements or your tracking show that you made maybe 900,000, 1.7 million the whole year, or you used to make a consistent 200,000 every year, are you able to justify your spending? So track your income and your expenses. I've always told people tracking is powerful. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know tracking is king. Why? Because when you track, you're able to identify loopholes that you would never have noticed if you would never have tracked. Now that's day 1 and day 2. We're giving that 2 days because it's an intense activity. Do it on your notebook, do it on your Excel sheet, whatever works for you. Just know your numbers. That's the bottom line. Day 3 and 4, we want to list our debts. We want to list our savings and investments. We want to also list our assets so that we can be able to calculate our net worth. Okay, now what is your net worth? Ideally, the best way to, a simple way to look at it is all your assets minus all your liabilities. So what would your assets look like? The money you have in your bank accounts, bank balances are part of your assets. Money that you have in money market funds are part of your assets. Money that you have in investments, a bond, SACCO savings, all those are assets. If you have a property that has already been valued and you know the current value of the property, you can include that as your asset. If you do not know the value of the land, what you do is that you just input the value of what you bought it for. Don't assume. One of the things I see people doing is that you assume that shamba nilinunua 800 by now inafaa kukua 1.3. Nani amekuambia? So just use, even if you underestimate it, it's okay. Just put the value that you bought it for. Once you have the property valued, then you're able to put the current value. So all those are your assets. Please don't put your car that you use to go to work every day as an asset. That's just we call that a depreciating asset. It's not bringing any income, neither is it like appreciating in value. So you want to put only investments that are either income generating or have potential of capital gain or appreciating in value. Then you want to list all your debts, all your liabilities. So that's your mortgage loans, your car loans, your bank loans, your mobile money loans. You want to, and once now you've been able to get all those, your assets minus your liabilities is actually your net worth. And your net worth is also telling you a story. It's telling you at the beginning of 2025, when you started 2025, this is what your net worth was. So for example, when we say person X, let's say like Warren Buffett or Susan Wanjiko, whoever, or whoever's net worth you're keen on tracking. When someone says that this person's net worth is 100 billion or 100 million, it means that all their assets minus all their liabilities, then that's their net worth. This is also an important metric to begin the year with and to help you to master personal finances and to know where to start. Because if all my assets combined, where all my savings and investments are, is 300,000, but I have a loan, okay, or rather all my total liabilities are 1.2 million. You can clearly see that as I'm beginning this personal finance audit, I am at a negative, pretty much. I have a negative net worth because my liabilities exceed my assets. Now, this is important information. It's not just supposed to stress you out. It's actually supposed to give you matching orders. When I say matching orders, this is what I mean. If my net worth was in the negative, I know that the next course of action or how to master my personal finances in 2025 would be that I need, so two ways. You either, in order to bring your net worth from the negative, coming close towards the positive, you want to either increase your assets or decrease your liabilities. In fact, double trouble is to do both. Increase your assets while you're reducing your liabilities. This will inform the kind of purchases you make this year. This will inform where your money is going this year. This will inform, are you really going to get that car this year, or would you rather buy a bond with that money this year, and so on and so forth. So we've done day 3 and 4. Ensure that by the time you're starting this journey and by the time you want to begin to master your personal finances, you understand your net worth so that you can have your matching orders, so that you can know this year in 2025, this is how much I want to increase my assets by. This is how much I want to reduce my liabilities. This is what I want my net worth to look like. If for some of you, the goal is to become a millionaire, all you have to do is have, let's say, your net worth, your assets minus your liabilities must be 1 million and above, and you've become a millionaire. All right. Now, let's talk about day 5 and 6. We want to now sit down and set SMART goals. SMART goals, we've talked about that before here on this channel. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So one of the things about financial goals is that you can't just wake up today and say, I want to save more. We want to set very, very smart goals. We want to be able to say, I want to save 5,000 Kenya shillings every month into my emergency fund. Right? Or I want to save 3,700 every month going towards my Christmas fund. Or I would like to accumulate 10,000 every month to go towards buying a bond of 100 and however much, or 100K at the end of the year. You don't want to just say that I want to get out of debt. You want to set a very specific goal and say, I want to pay off 80,000 in debt in 2025. And therefore you want to work backwards and say, okay, if I want to pay off 80,000 and I have 12 months, then 80 divided by 12 is the amount that 80,000 divided by 12 months is the amount that you should be paying towards your debt every year. Let's say you want to increase your income. Don't just say, I want to make more money. That's not a financial goal. Guys, remember that a financial goal must have a number attached to it, and most importantly, a timeline attached to it. It must be very specific, and you must be able, again, as we say, to measure it. All right. So you want to say, I want to increase my income to by 50,000, or I want to increase my income by 20%, right? That is something measurable by end of year, by mid-year, and so on and so forth. So something keen to note here when you begin to do your goal setting process in day 5 and 6 is that don't just set financial goals. This is something I teach my clients all the time. People think that when they come to my class, we're just going to talk about those 3 things I've talked about: budgeting, investing, paying debt, increasing your income. But one of the things I've learned is that a better way to do this is to set your goals in an all-rounded manner. All right. What that looks like is that you want to look at your family goals. You want to look at parenting goals. You want to look at things like, do you want to relocate or move? You want to look at your recreational goals, your travel goals. Are you getting married? Do you want to plan a wedding goals? Do you want to do personal growth and development and start a course? Do that. In other words, I want you to think about goal setting as if you're setting goals for life, not just setting goals for money. Let me tell you why that is important, guys. When you set goals like that, you set the goal in an all-rounded manner. What happens is that you're able to understand or to look at your finances in a broader perspective. Most of your life goals, if not all, will require money. If you want to do personal development, maybe you want to do coaching, maybe you want to go to school, that requires money. Where is the money coming from if you're not planning for it in your financial plan for 2025? Maybe you want to do more travel. Where's the money coming from? Maybe you want to even get finance coaching. Where's the money coming from? Maybe you've said you want to work out and lose weight. That will require a gym. That will probably require a trainer. That will require changes in your nutrition. Now you're buying chia seeds and whatnot. All that requires money. Most, if not all, of your life goals, even relationship goals. Maybe you're saying you and your partner and your spouse, you need to do more date days. That costs money. So don't be narrow-minded in the sense sense that financial goals must just have money, like, save more, invest more, pay debt, but like set goals in an all-rounded manner in a way that depicts life in its totality. And once you do that, then when you begin to budget and when you begin to break down these issues, you will begin to see, oh, my sinking fund needs to have this. I need to also have a lifestyle account that pays for this. I need to set up something that takes care of my travel goals, etc. That is even, that's one of the ways that you can go about it. Now, one of the things I've learned as I've coached in the past 4 years is that so many of us struggle with goal setting. It's one of the things that when I ask my class, so what are your goals for next year? What are your financial goals? What are your personal development goals? It's almost like we need a moment, if not a day or a week, to really think about what we want. So I came across this amazing goal setting class on Skillshare that I need to plug you guys on. That is such an amazing course for a beginner, someone who's just like, I know what I want, but I just struggle to kind of like put goals in an organized manner that will give me a very clear depiction and a very clear picture of what I want to achieve in 2025. So I got you. If you struggle with goal setting, please check out this class that I came across on Skillshare, and I want you guys to be able to benefit from it as well. This portion of today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. If you didn't already know, Skillshare is the largest online learning platform for creatives, and I've really been enjoying the courses that have been coming across on the platform. Now, we are just from discussing goal setting, and as I said, I know so many of us, myself included, probably struggle with goal setting. Now, this is an amazing course that I came across. As you can see, I've done a couple of lessons, and I really have been enjoying it because it's a very all-rounded approach to goal setting. So we've done reflection, we've talked about letting go of the past, rewriting your story, especially in the new year if you made some bad mistakes and some habits that you're not so proud of and you'd like to work on them. Just a very all-rounded view on actually how to set goals. This is an amazing course. I highly recommend it. So far, I'm really enjoying it. Another issue I know so many of us struggle with is the issue of procrastination. You set your goals in the new year, and obviously you're so excited to go about them, but then this monster called procrastination shows up. This is an amazing course I've also been taking on Skillshare. I'm almost done, as you can see. And the course is about defeating procrastination and just knowing how to design your life in a way that actually empowers you to achieve the goals that you have for yourself for this new year. Now, whether you want to do goal setting, procrastination, or you're just a creative that is interested in all of these categories, Skillshare has everything that you need, whether that is in creativity and inspiration, whether you want to upskill and learn design, art and illusion. All these categories are courses, very good courses that you can access on Skillshare. And because you guys know I always got you in this new year, the first 500 people to click on my link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So if you're interested in exploring and learning more about Skillshare and just using this an opportunity to upskill and to get new insights into things you're passionate about, or new things that you would want to actually learn in the new year, please use my link. And as I said, the first 500 people to click on my link will actually get 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Now, in day 7, what you want to do now is to create a preliminary budget using a template, okay? Now, if you're new on this channel, maybe you don't know, but I have a done for you budgeting tool that you can actually work on, and it's only 750 Kenya shillings only. I'm just putting it up on the screen right now to see some of the things that you can be able to do with it. As you can see, you can plan your monthly budget on it. You can plan your annual budget on it in terms of just tracking how you've been spending your money. You can track your net worth. As you can see, we have somewhere where we have assets, we have like liabilities, and so on and so forth. So in case you need a template that you don't have to build from scratch, please make sure that you grab it down in the description box down below. But remember, you can't start the year without a budget. And what exactly is a budget? A budget, simply put, is a spending plan that tells your money where to go. Now, on day 8 and day 9. So the first week, ideally, if you've not noticed, day 1 to day 7, what we've done is we've just taken some time to understand your financial situation. We've just done an audit. Now, in the second week, now from day 8 to day 14, we want to begin to build financial habits. Okay? Now, day 8 to day 9, if you've not already opened one, I need you to open a high yield savings account or a money market fund if you don't already have one. This is for my people who are still leaving their money uninvested in a bank account that does not earn you any interest whatsoever. In a day and age that inflation is actually kicking our behinds, we need to get serious about ensuring that we are getting compensated for inflation. Now, what inflation does to the purchasing power, to your purchasing power, is that it depreciates what your money can do for you. What 1,000 bob would have done for you in 2023 is not what 1,000 bob can be able to do for you in 2025, which is why we need to open that high yielding savings account or a money market fund that gives you a bare minimum of around 11 to 12% per annum. Now, that's day 8 to day 9. Most of these companies, all you have to do is just go onto their website, fill in the application form. As long as it's a weekday, by the next day or two, you already have gotten feedback and you've probably already opened and funded your account. Now, we are now at day 10 and day 11. We now want to automate our savings. Remember, we already set goals last week, and we said that we are going to put X amount into our emergency fund, or maybe we are going to put X amount into our saving or investment, etc, etc. All right. Now, what you want to do is that goal you already decided in the first week. All right. That goal you set in day 5 and day 6, you now want to actually automate. So many of us did not save in 2024 as much as we would have wished or we would have wanted, because we kept having a debate with ourselves. All right. So you said, oh, I'm going to save this month. And then something comes up and you're not able to do it. And you're like, I'm going to do it next month. I'm going to do it next month. I'm going to do it this other month. Right. And by the time you notice or realize it, the 6 months have gone by, 8 months have gone by. It was 31st December and we were in 2025. So automate. If you really want, put your mouth where your money is. Okay, so or rather put your money where your mouth is at. So what you want to do is that if you're determined that you'll be doing 5,000, go to your bank or your employer or wherever and actually set up a standing order such that that amount is actually deducted every month going into that account that you decided will be your non-negotiable saving or your non-negotiable investment account. Day 12. Review and adjust your budget based on actual expenses. By now, you've already started realizing that the year is a bit different. Maybe your child has gone back to school. They have extracurricular activities you need to consider. Maybe you've taken up Zumba and you are going to be paying for gym or training. Maybe you've decided you're going to get a finance coach, a career coach. There's this amount you want to pay monthly and so on and so forth. So review your budget and actually adjust it accordingly to the actual expenses that are coming up in 2025. Day 13 and 14, begin tracking your spending using apps. Okay, one of the reasons why I love phone apps is because I may not always have my Excel sheet. I have this Excel sheet that I depicted or showed you guys earlier on. I may not have the Excel sheet with me, but every time I'm paying an Uber or I'm in the supermarket or I'm getting my hair done, I most probably have my phone with me. Okay, so as long as you always have your phone with you, please check out. There's so many apps. We have we have Money Manager. We have we have quite a number of them on Play Store. So just check out either on the App Store or on the Play Store. Find something that is simple to use and begin to track apps, or rather begin to now track your spending using apps. Now, depending on the kind of a person you are. Now, for me, I've done this from 2020. So nowadays it's almost like my second nature. anytime, like if I pay for the salon right now, once I send the money, I go into my app and I say I paid 4,500 today, or I pay an Uber 300, I enter and I say or I fueled and I did 2,000, I do that. So I do it in real time. So that's, I mean, I can't trust myself to actually remember how much I spent during the day. So I stopped waiting until end of day to do it. That's just my personality. Maybe for you, the on-demand tracking is probably stressful and too much pressure for you. If you're the kind that prefers to track at the end of the day, then please do that. But kindly, guys, please don't wait at the end of the week, because by the time it's Saturday and I'm trying to remember all the things that I spend on throughout the week, I've already probably introduced errors, because you can't remember everything. So if you can be able to track on the go, please do that. But if you're not able to, just track at the end of the day when you settle down in the house, and you're good to go. So what we've done so far, we've done the first 2 weeks. We are working with 30 days. The first week, we were understanding our financial situation and getting to learn our numbers. In week 2, we've started building healthy financial habits. The first thing we did is opening the high-yielding savings accounts or the money market funds. We've set up automatic transfers or standing orders. We've started to be able to understand that a budget is not set on stone. You review it and adjust it every month as you go. And then finally, what we've done is now we've begun tracking our expenses. So you're slowly building up on the habits. You're slowly kind of like stacking the habits from day one. Now, we are going into week 3. We've already done an audit of our financial situation. We've begun stacking habits. So now we are learning to build the healthy financial habits that we've just discussed from day 8 to day 14. Now, from week 3, what you want to begin to do, remember this is a crash course on how to master your personal finance journey in the first 30 days. Now, from week 3, we want to begin to spend some time learning investment basics. Okay? Now, day 15 and day 16, those are 2 whole days. You want to begin to read beginner-friendly investment guides. Okay? So whether that is online, whether that is on this YouTube channel, whether that's on my Instagram, I have quite a number of carousels explaining the basics of SACCOs, for example, of the stock market, of bonds. One of the things I've been telling my clients, and one of the things I tell people close to me, is that gone are the days where we say, I know nothing about SACCOs. When you could actually Google what SACCOs are in Kenya, how they work, licensed SACCOs by SASRA, for example. Gone are the days where someone would tell me, Coach, I hear about money market funds, but I don't understand them anymore. You have to take back the power. So I want you to spend some time in week 3 actually reading material. There's so much material. Literally, on my blog page, I'm going to actually link it down below. I have written numerous articles addressing some of these investment options and how they work. On this YouTube channel alone, I think we've pretty much talked about all of them. Take some time with your notebook and actually read and understand for yourself. I'll tell you why this is important. An investment in education, guys, pays you the best return. We are going to avoid getting conned. We are going to avoid being misled. We are going to avoid the hard mentality. In other words, just copying other people's investments and blindly without really understanding how they work and whether they are perfect or good for our journey. So please spend some time reading, read, watch, ask questions, like spend some time. Don't just rush to ask maybe me or someone else online or a friend without actually having invested some time to do that. Another piece of advice that I would actually give you, if you tend to either drive to work or you even are javing is even better. Please take the 30 minutes to work and coming back, to actually listen to personal finance content. Go onto YouTube, go onto Spotify, listen to podcasts that are actually personal finance. You could listen to me. Someone whose podcast I love, absolutely love, is also Ramit Sethi. He's one of the guys who explains finance concepts in a very simple and straightforward manner. There are numerous influencers, creators, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Tanzania. If you want global personalities like Ramit, there are so many people who talk about personal finance. They share legit information, and you can begin to consume that content. If you just make it a habit to listen to personal finance content, even if it's just 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day, you are going to be far ahead. That way, even when you're consulting someone, or even you are planning to work with a coach, you're not coming in green, and someone can actually also not mislead you because you understand the basics. So day 15 and 16 in our 30-day program, that's what I want you to do. Read material that actually talks about investment guide in your country. All right. Now, day 17 and 18, I want you to go a step further and begin to explore platforms that actually provide these investments. For example, here in Kenya, maybe you're interested in investing in treasury bills and bonds. Have you actually visited the CBK website and checked out what it looks like? When you go to the CBK website, there's a tab written Invest. When you go to the investment tab, you're able to read a step-by-step guide on how to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds. You'll be able to actually also see the DAO CSD platform, which is now the online platform that you open an account with if you're intentional and you want to buy bills and bonds this year. Maybe you want to learn about the stock market. Have you actually checked out the Nairobi Securities Exchange website? Yeah, maybe you want to actually learn about SACCOs and licensing. Visit the SASRA website and actually check it out and see what it looks like. Maybe you want to, maybe you're abroad and you want to invest in S&P 500, and maybe you've never even checked out the Vanguard platform. Actually go through the Vanguard website, see the different offerings and the different investments that they have, and check it out. Pretty much take those 2 days to interact with platforms that supply or provide these investments you're interested about. And this actually applies also to your money market funds, your unit trust funds. Maybe you want to invest in Mansa X fund. Go check out their website. What do they offer? What are they saying? Maybe you want to maybe do a particular money market fund, CIC, Sanlam, Zimele. Go to their actual websites. A lot of the questions that you have will probably be answered by going through the material that is already on the website, because most of them are actually obligated to disclose the investments in terms of like what the rate of return is, what the management fees are, and so on and so forth. Now, in day 19, I want you to now, and this is for now for my people who struggle with what I call analysis paralysis. Last year yote nimekuwa nikikwambia money market fund, money market fund. Wewe unaogopa tu kuweka pesa kwa money market fund. If you're that kind of a person who's just been hearing about these investments, you know about them, but you've never taken a step, day 19 is for you. Day 19 is to put the bare minimum amount, because we want to assume that you already opened the account on day 8 and 9, okay? Go right ahead and fund this account. Like literally invest a small amount. Start with 1,000 bob. Start with 5,000 bob, right? Start with, if you've already opened like a brokerage account with maybe Diane Blair, maybe you've done it with whoever I personally use Diane Blair for my stock market investment. Actually fund that account. Put 5,000 bob, put 10,000 bob, buy your first share, buy KCB shares, buy, maybe Kengen shares, whatever it is that you're familiar with. Take the first step. I feel like a lot of us, because we always want to wait for some form of affirmation, either from our friends, from our family members, or to hear that there's a group of people doing it. So many of us are motivated by the fact that other people are doing it. If we can change that in 2025, remember that your personal finance journey is actually your own journey. much as we encourage each other to do things and we kind of like recommend investments to each other, at the end of the day, this is your own personal finance journey. So take that first step and dump the excuses. Can we stop the excuses in 2025, guys? Go right ahead and do that thing that you're afraid of, okay? And then another thing maybe to mention is that there's no such thing as an investment that does not have any risk. I feel like another reason why we really delay from doing it is like, oh, am I so sure? What if? As long as we've been, I mean, especially for the guys who watched my videos in 2024, we did a lot of talks about how to do due diligence on investment, the right question to ask an agent who's selling you a product, how to actually choose an investment. Please go back to those videos. I think I'm going to also link them down in the description box below so that you can have an understanding. Once you have the basic understanding, please stop being so afraid. Go right ahead and make your first bare minimum investment. Now, day 20 and 21, I want you to commit some time to learn about compound interest and how it grows your wealth over time, because that is also something else that a lot of us seem to not understand, especially in the day and age where there are so many scammers who are actually selling us dreams, and they're telling us that if you invest in this particular place, in a week, in a month, in 6 months, you will make abnormal or supernormal returns. If it was that easy, then us guys who are actually experts in the investment space or in the finance space, we wouldn't be working. I mean, tungekuwa tumeomoka, tumefunga biashara, sit kwa nyumbani. If it was that easy to make money in a week, in a month, or in 6 months, most of us will have to learn about compound interest. And when you do learn about compound interest and how it works, you will understand that the best way to grow wealth is to grow wealth slowly. I know that's not what you're trying to hear at the end. I mean, at the beginning of a new year, we are all excited and, we have the drive to want to do big things. Why I say that's the best way to grow wealth is because that is what is sustainable in the long term. And compound interest works as a factor of time. If you have only 5 years to invest, maybe towards your retirement, as opposed to someone who has maybe 30 years, you'll find that someone who has 30 years ahead of them probably has less pressure, less stress. They can actually get away with doing very little towards that investment, because the more time you give your investment, the more you give compound interest time to do or perform its magic. Okay, so take some time, literally Google what is compound interest and how does it work, and see what actually comes up on your browser. Okay, then begin to actually take a deep dive to understand compound interest, how compound interest is calculated, how it differs from simple interest calculation method, which is how our banks, for example, calculate our interest in savings accounts or fixed deposit accounts. All right, now we are done with week 3. We are all the way down to day 20 and day 21. Are you taking it all in? Are you taking a breather? I hope you've taken notes, because I want us now to go to the last leg of our 30-day marathon to master our personal finance. Now we are at day 22 to 23. I want you to take some time on those days to study tax saving strategies that are actually relevant to your country. Especially here in Kenya right now, you need to stay woke. You need to understand, as someone who is saving and investing, what are the taxes that I am actually supposed to take, into account. As an investor, for example, there's withholding tax on your money market funds, for instance. How much is that for? Like, for example, here in Kenya, that's 15% withholding tax. So that will actually help you to be able to manage your expectation in terms of what you're expecting from your investments. Remember, on top of that, there's also like a 1.5 to either 2 or 2.5 management fees on most of our unit trust companies. If you're working with maybe like someone like a more diverse investor, maybe like the Oak Special Fund by Faida Investment Bank or Mansa X Fund by Standard Investment Bank, you'll find that the what they call the service charge or the management fees is slightly higher than the 2.5 or 2% that we are normally used to like with the money market funds, for instance, because obviously the investment is a bit more complex. It gives you access to like global investments, and there's actually a charge to getting access to some of these investments. So understand like costs and charges, understand taxes, understand that like for your treasury bills and bonds, there's also taxes involved. Understand like for dividends that you're getting from your circles, from your shares, there's taxes involved. Understand how you can do tax efficient investing. Like for example, pension funds as well as some insurance policies come with tax advantages. Get to learn and to understand. So you can either do that by Googling, you can do that by consulting like an expert like myself. Obviously, use Gone Pay Me for that, or any other expert who's willing to actually share that information, even if it is for free. But take some time to actually study tax saving strategies in your country of choice, because if you're not very, very careful, and if you don't invest in a smart and wise way and go about your financial planning, whether that is spending, how you even run your business, guys, business owners, this is also something that you really need to think about, especially right now that taxes are literally choking us to death in Kenya. Right? So you want to think about like how you can actually have a tax efficient business. For creatives, you need to also understand how to handle taxes in a smart way. For small business owners like myself, we also have to learn how to go about taxes. That's helping you minimize the amount of money that's going out in taxes and maximize the money that you get to retain. So please dedicate day 22 to 23 to do that. Day 24 to 25, please take some time to learn about insurance and assess any insurance needs that you might have. I know a lot of us have probably had a negative experience with insurance, especially here in Kenya. If I had $1 for every time I meet someone who tells me insurance is a scam, oh, I'd be a rich woman. But I feel like one of the things that we have as Kenyans, we have a problem of understanding that there's a big difference between investing and insuring. So that's why I'm saying we've talked so much about saving, we've talked about investing. And if you've not noticed, those are two separate things. Investing is meant to grow and multiply your wealth. Okay, while insurance is actually meant to protect you. It's a risk mitigation product. So we take health insurance because we do not know the day we will get sick and the day we will need cash to go to hospital, or even if you're admitted, okay? We pay for car insurance because you can't predict an accident, all right? We pay for life insurance, for example, pure life insurance or whole life insurance for in case we die and we leave a vulnerable dependents, then they get some money that could help them just, figure things out, before they begin to adapt to the new way of life without you. This probably mostly applies to people who have young and vulnerable children, or if you have some form of like support you give your family, you also want them to be sorted out in case you die, because once you die, your wealth or your income or earning potential dies with you, okay? So learn about insurance. This is probably a good opportunity for some of you guys who are still buying like education policies as the only way to plan for your child's education. This is probably a good time for you to reevaluate that decision. That's not the best use of your money, and I've said that on this channel before. I want some of you guys who have like endowment policies as well to review what you wanted to actually achieve. And one of the things I do with my clients is that I always ask my clients to come with their actual policy documents, and for us to review and to see what did you have in mind when you were actually taking up these policies. So many people will tell me they had retirement in mind, but those products are not meant for retirement. Some will tell me that this is money that's supposed to educate my child all the way in high school. Once we actually run the numbers, you find that you're barely even getting compensated for inflation. So how will you actually afford school fees in 10 years' time or in 15 years' time when where you've put your money is not actually helping you keep up with inflation? So this would be a good opportunity for you to actually learn that there are better ways to put your money, and there are better insurance policies to put your money in. Some of the underrated policies that we are not paying attention to, I feel like all our attention is in education policies and endowment policies, but most of us are not thinking about pure and whole life insurance. And that's a powerful risk mitigation tool. It's also a powerful legacy planning tool. We are not thinking that. And maybe you're a single parent, and if you died today, your children and your family would be in trouble. Another underrated cover is the critical illness cover. Today you may not die, but you may get a cancer and Alzheimer's. And there's also disability covers. Those are such powerful and very affordable insurance covers that most of us are sleeping on, and they would really, really help a lot of our African families. Okay, you want to think about like some of these cashback policies. We actually have like what we call income protection covers that protect your income, assuming you're a business owner and maybe you have an income protection policy. You might want to think about, you want to think about, okay, what if I'm unwell, I'm away from my business for 5 days, for 7 days, and per day I make this much. How can I get compensated for the same? So there are so many good insurance policies. Don't just get lost in the mess that some of these policies that we've been sold to have made us believe and think that insurances are not a very good thing. But what you probably have is a bad insurance product. But insurance coverage generally, when it's done well and when a professional who has your best interest at heart actually guides you, you will actually find that you have very good insurance coverage. So that is day 24 and day 25 for you. Please take some time to learn about insurance and to actually get good coverage. I have an amazing agent. I have always worked with her. I've brought her on this channel before, Lerisk Africa. If you'd like someone to help you out with that, I'm also going to link her content, or rather her contact, in the description box down below. Day 26 and day 27. I want you to actually sit down and think long term, because in these 2 days, what we want to do is that we want to draft a retirement savings plan. If you only have NSSF, I hope 2025 is going to be the year that you supplement that. NSSF only is not enough to help you retire comfortably, okay? If you only are doing 1,000 bob, 2,000 bob towards your retirement, I hope that 2025 is one of those years that you're going to sit down and run the numbers and actually be able to identify exactly how much you need to do. If you're the kind of a person that has never even looked, you don't know how much. Most people tell me, my employer matches, but I ask you exactly how much is actually going towards in numbers. Is it 20,000? Is it 21,000? Is it 5K? Is it 7,000? Exactly how much is going towards retirement, and how long do you have? I will leave a video down below where I took you through actual calculation methods to determine by age. If I'm 25 today and I want to retire at 60, if I'm 40 today, if I'm 50 and I want to retire at 60, and I want to have 200,000 coming in every month, how much exactly should I actually get? I'm going to leave a video down below so that you can be able to see how to work around that on day 26 and day 27, because guys, so many Africans, we are retiring poor. We are running away from black tax, and we are still going to put our own children through black tax. Guys, remember that under the sun, there's a loan for pretty much everything, but no one will give you a loan to go retire with. Okay, so please take some time to think about that so that we can change the African story. Instead of passing poverty from one generation to the next, instead of passing black tax from one generation to the next, let's begin to change the narrative so that we can begin to pass down wealth from one generation to the other. Now, day 29, we've done so much. Day 28 and 29, we now want to, after having all these discussions, you've already probably decided you're going to do a circle. You've probably decided you're going to invest in stocks. You've done your retirement calculation and you're like, oh, I need to probably do more towards my retirement. Now in day 29, this is the second review we are doing. We now review and adjust your budget, your savings and investments accordingly. Because for the past 27 days, we've probably just been evaluating, learning, reevaluating and learning. And as you do that, the point is not just to have head knowledge. I keep saying this before, I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. The financial knowledge that will benefit you is not the knowledge you have in your head. And it's not the knowledge that you have on your notebook. It's the knowledge that you apply. So day 28 and 29 is all about like now actually keying in the numbers and saying, I'm going to put 6,000 towards my pension every month, or I'm going to dedicate 2,500 to fund my, stock market investing fund, or wherever. Just adjust that budget and make room for those goals that you said you actually want to put. All right. And finally, on day 30, we want to reflect on our progress. What have you learned so far? Like, I want to hope that we are probably at mid-February at this point. If you start your day 1 today, you will probably finish your 30 days somewhere close to mid-February. So you want to actually sit down and reflect. In these 30 days that I have intentionally done something every day, one small thing every day towards my financial progress, towards mastering my personal finance. What have I learned about my spending habits, about my financial literacy, about where my money is going? So reflect on that and then make decisions and set up a system to actually implement those decisions, okay? And then also set up a system to ensure that you continue with or rather set up a system for what we are calling ongoing learning. Maybe that is like consulting with a coach and saying that, once every quarter I'm going to sit down with someone to help me review my finances. Maybe it's saying that once a week I'm going to listen to a finance podcast, a finance YouTube video. Once every half a year, once every year, I'm going to sit down and do like a full personal finance coaching day or whatever. Actually set up a plan. And as you're setting up that plan, if any of your plans require money, begin to think about how you can set aside resources, time, and money to be able to achieve those goals. So in the next 30 days, that is how you can master your personal finance journey. So what I want you to do in this moment, I want you to give me a comment in the comment section down below and let me know. Do you think this 30-day step-by-step guide is doable? And if indeed you do think it's doable, please let me know. Give me a quick yes if you're planning to commit to it. All right. Tell me one thing that you feel has resonated very deeply with you, one or two things that you feel have resonated deeply with you. I'm going to take some time and actually just answer any questions or concerns that you might have so that we can walk together. Around mid-February, I'm going to come and do a quick check-in and maybe find out how many of us were able to do this 30-day step-by-step personal finance mastery program. And maybe you can let me know whether it was impactful, whether you are successful, and in which areas you still feel you are stuck. So I hope this was, I feel like it was such a serious video to start the year with. But I mean, I like to hit the ground running. Let me know if this was helpful. I'm looking forward to all the amazing personal finance and financial literacy discussions that we are going to be having this year. Again, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys so much for all the support that you gave me throughout 2024 by sharing my videos. As a matter of fact, my God, you guys, when I was on my break, so many of you guys were actually calling my my business line, and you guys were sending messages and emails to just find out where I was. I'm so sorry. I kind of like just went away cold turkey. I'm not one of doing announcements and all of that, but I'm so grateful that you guys would even notice that, it's been 4 weeks and we've not had Finance Friday. I really hope that we will continue. It's just a beautiful community to have. So I just want to really appreciate you. I have amazing things in store for you in 2025. So in case you're a viewer and you don't subscribe, you've watched this whole video, you've been watching all my videos and you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscription button. It really helps to promote the work that I do. It really helps to support this initiative that I started to share this information with you freely. So please like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that even as we keep uploading more and more videos for the year 2025, you're going to call first dibs. You'll be the first to know and the first to be notified in case we upload new videos, and in case we have anything going on, you're going to be the first one to hear about. And my commitment to you is that we are actually going to bring the content recommendations that you're asking of me. I'm planning to also be bringing a few guests throughout this year in terms of just discussing money psychology, and money philosophy, and how we are handling money. So we are going to commit to do that. So I just want you to feel appreciated for also supporting me and supporting the work that I do here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was fun, and I'm going to see you next Friday.